Hello everyone, today we have a super fun video for you. So if you didn't know, I am a travel agent that specializes in Disney and Universal trips. So this is professional information about what's in my park bag. Just to pay the bills here, if you're interested in booking a trip with me or having me help you plan your trip, there'll be information down below. You can send me an email and I'll send you a quote form to get a link for either a Disney or a Universal vacation. So this is what's in my park bag. Now, I specifically sort of designed this bag to meet just my needs, but if you wanted to make this, I'll put a link to the pattern below. I'll put a link to where I got the fabric, and I'll put links to all of that if you're a bag sewer. Also, it should be noted that I coated this with something called Odie Coat so that it's water resistant. So this is what I take to the parks when I go to the parks. This works great no matter who's in your party, if you're traveling solo, whatever. This is all great stuff to have if you have little kids, big kids, no kids, girls trip, solo trip, whatever you're doing. These are all what I consider park bag essentials. So I'll also say right now, this is a good time to like and subscribe this video if you're interested in this content. So let's get into what's in this bag. So this bag has a front pocket here, a big wide pocket back here, and then you almost can't see it, but it's got a zipper pocket back here as well up against your back. And the reason I chose this bag specifically for a trip in the summer is for two reasons. So this is a convertible bag, so I can wear it as a backpack like this. I'll slide that down there. I can wear it as a backpack like this, or I can take one of these straps off. I even have a thicker strap that goes with this, but I can take one of these straps off and wear it as a sling bag if it's getting too annoying as a backpack, or if it's too hot, or if I want to wear it on my front or slide it to my front during a ride or something like that. Let's get into what is in the bag. I'm going to take these straps off so they don't make a bunch of noise. So we'll start with the front. In the front, I have one thing and one thing only. A collection of wipes. So let's talk about these, okay? So keep them in this little pouch, and it's important to note I have enough for a day in the parks. When we go to the parks, we have the done by one mentality. So we rope drop, then we're usually done by one. We go back to our hotel, we rest, we swim, we kind of recharge, get a whole bunch of AC, watch some TV, change if we need to, and then we go back into the parks for the evening. So this is for what I would pack for a day at the park only. I'll refill this as needed during the time that we're there. So I have wet wipes for wiping down hands and tables and garbage cans. If you know, you know. This is about enough for a couple of hours at the park. I have lens wipes. These work for cleaning glasses, phones, kind of whatever you need. And then these, I've talked about these before. These are compressed towels. So what you do, if there's a spill, you can just throw this disc on it and it expands really fast to help clean up the spill, or you can add a little water to it and it'll expand, and you can use it to wash things off, faces, tables, again, garbage cans, whatever you kind of need to wash off. Okay, that's what's in there. That's it, by the way. Oh, and there's Statler and Waldorf in there. Let's go to the back. So in the back, I'll carry my phone in here when I'm not using it so that it's up against me. I can feel it if it goes off, and it stays secure and safe. And then the only other thing I have in there is a wallet, and this is just a simple card wallet. I carry my ID and maybe a backup credit card, something like that. Everything else is going to be linked to my Disney Experience app or my Magic Band. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what's in here. And here we go. I'm just gonna peel this back so you can get a good look. So, first things first, and one of the most important things to carry is water. I personally really like an insulated water bottle. You can get free water all over the parks, free ice water. But the reason I carry a water bottle with me is so that if I'm in line somewhere or if I'm not near a quick service restaurant or anything like that, I have water ready to go. The last thing you want to do at Disney or Universal for that matter is get dehydrated. So I always carry a water bottle with me, and then I refill it at one of the free refilling stations, or you can go to any quick service station and get a glass of ice water, and I just dump it right in there. Okay, next along those lines are straws. If you've done any kind of research about Disney at all, you know that they, save the turtles and use paper straws, which paper straws aren't great. I can't stand them. So I bring my own straws in my little container here, and I wash them out at the end of the day. Then I always have straws with me. Hand sanitizer, a must. And then I've separated these things so that I can go for exactly what I need when I need it. So this is medications and this is first aid. So I'll open both these up here. First aid. So like I said, this is just what I have for a day at the park, not my whole trip or anything like that. I carry backups with me back at the hotel if I should need to sort of recharge. There are first aid stations at every park, but if you get a blister on one end of the park and the first aid station is at the other, the last thing you want to do is, haul cookies all the way across the park to get a Band-Aid. So I like to have these things on me at all times. And here's what's in my first aid pack. And just in case of emergencies, I have a panty liner and I have a couple tampons here. These are also great in case you're in the bathroom and you've ever heard somebody sort of call out and ask if anybody has one of these things. I love being able to be the person that's like, I got you. So we have a couple of single-use. This one is triple antibiotic ointment, Neosporin kind of thing. I get these from Welly. And then this one is a hydrocortisone burn cream, again from Welly. Then I have a variety of, they're blister Band-Aids basically, and they're specifically for if you get a blister. So I have a couple different sizes, a couple of Welly Band-Aids of just about any size, and then I have some big like scraped knee ones, and I have alcohol prep pads. And then immediate drugs that I carry with me for what I need. Now this is just for an adult. I don't have any stuff for kids in here because this time I'm not going with any kids. So this is just for an adult. If I had kids, I'd have different things in here, or I'd add a couple of things as well. So here's what I pack. Again, this is not meant to be medical advice. I'll put a little disclaimer below, but this is what I bring. All right. Advil, because ibuprofen is amazing. Tylenol, Excedrin migraine. So this is Tylenol with caffeine in it. Then I have an anti-diarrheal. I have Aleve, so that's naproxen. That's really good for sore muscles. And then this is a trick from the Minnesota State Fair. This is Midol. So if you look at the package of the things that Midol, again, not medical advice, but if you look at the package of the things that Midol relieves, it's things like bloating and cramping and muscle soreness and things like that, which all kind of relate to what happens when you go to a Disney park. So what I tend to do is keep these on me if I'm starting to feel those things. I'll pop a Midol according to the dosage instructions, and I'm telling you, it works. That was a tip from somebody who went to Minnesota State Fair and was telling me about this. Okay, so that's it for drugs and first aid. Let me pack these back up. Okay, back into the bag. In this back pocket here, I keep one of these fans, like that. You can just boop, 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 boop. Full confession, have yet to be in the parks in the heat of summer. I will be bringing this. I might last minute order one of those cooling neck fan things, but so far this is great for me when I get overheated because I also get agitated, and fidgeting is a really, really good way to release cortisol and release anxiety and stress. So this works really, really well when I'm hot. So we'll see if it works in the full Florida heat. I have the tiniest umbrella I could find. This works great not only for what is inevitable at Disney World is rain, but also for shade. If you're in a place that doesn't have a lot of shade or extra hot, this can keep that sun from baking into you. So I've got the tiniest one I could find. It also has a strap so that I can attach it to the outside of my bag. I have a case for my sunglasses. I have prescription sunglasses now so that I can read my phone in the sun. So I have chapstick, deodorant, Body Glide for the chub rub, and then some lotion. And then I have these wipes back here, which weren't included in there because they're for a different reason. So these are single-use refreshing cleansing cloths. You can use these for wiping makeup off if your makeup starts to run. You can use these for like refreshing your armpits, kind of any of your little bits and bobs that need a wipe up or a clean up. Okay. Here's another fix-it pouch in case something should go wrong. I got this pouch from Amy's Small World, by the way. All the other pouches I made, if they're not in my shop, which is listed below, you can just send me a DM and I will send you a link and we can talk about working on a custom job. Anyway, this is from Amy's Small World. This is one of my favorite movies, by the way. So here's the thing to fix the things. Plackers, some zip ties, which will fix a lot of things, a Tide to Go pen, a teeny tiny little single-use thing of super glue, some nail glue, and then these didn't fit in my medicine case, but they're chewable Alka-Seltzer like Tums. Then I have some hair ties and some bobby pins, a nail file, breath strips. You can bring gum into the park, but you can't buy gum anywhere at the park. And I find these are just easier to use. This is a teeny tiny little eyeglass repair kit. And then we have safety pins, big and small. Okay, let's pack all this back in here. I try to make sure that all the pouches that I have are clear. Not only so that I know what's inside each one of them, so that if one of my family members or friends goes into my bag and is looking for something, it makes it easy for them to find which pouch they're looking for. Okay, back into the big bag. In the front here is a little loop, and that is so I don't lose my AirPods inside of this bag. I use AirPods at the park in case I need to call somebody. It's just easier. I can hear them. They're right in my ear than holding my phone up to my ear and trying to figure out what's going on. Okay, and then lastly, that's the inside of the bag, by the way. And then lastly, I have this pouch I got from 31. It's thermal, and that's important. In just a minute, I'll explain why. But on the outside of it, I have 2 Noon tablets. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that I really like Noon for hydration, electrolytes, whatever. I get the immunity kind because I like that that's added in there too. So instead of bringing the whole tube of Noon, I just put a couple in one of these little things, and then it takes up much less room. And then if you've watched any videos about Disney bags, you know that the water can taste kind of funky there. So I bring a couple of these. I'll pour that into my water that I get from the quick service stations, and it tastes much better, and I drink it much, much faster. Okay, and then in here, in the thermal part, I have things that I don't want to melt in the hot, hot sun. So I have a couple of snacks. Now, usually I'll eat at any of the wonderful, magnificent places that you can eat at the park. But sometimes you're stuck in a line or something like that, and you or someone you're with is hangry. This is what that's for. But they're chocolate, and I don't want them to melt and be all gross. So I put them in this little thermal pack. If I was really worried about the heat, I might put like a little baggie of ice or something in there. And then this is where I carry a couple of extra Ziploc bags in case, on the off chance, I have some leftover treat of some kind that I want to bring back with me. I can just throw it in here, and off we go. This also is great to have around for your phone or anything like that that you want to keep safe from water. It's just an extra layer of protection to have one of these around. Okay, let's pack this one back up. Okay, and then some days it's supposed to be a rainy day at the park and it gets really wet and there's just water absolutely everywhere and a umbrella's not gonna cut it. So a lot of people will pack ponchos. I dislike ponchos so very much. So what I did, I'll insert a picture of what this looks like in real life. What I did is I took a rain jacket and I squished it all up and put it inside of a quart-sized bag. And then I literally sat on it, squished all of the air out of it so that it was nice and flat. And if it's gonna be a real rainy day or if it's looking like it's gonna rain for a really extended period of time, I'll throw this in my bag as well. But I don't carry it around unless I'm certain that that's gonna be the case. Okay, so now I know what you're like, okay, that's great, but I don't sew and I don't wanna order a bag and I don't have time to have a custom-made bag. So what I'm gonna do is show you that this all fits in a Loungefly bag too. Let me grab it, hang on. Okay, this is my trusty, tried and true Loungefly Mickey bag. I even had it signed by Mickey himself. This is a very common type of bag to carry to the parks. This is great for carrying just the essentials that you need around the parks. If you've got little ones, you can have a separate bag for your stroller. I can get into a whole different situation there if you want to. Leave me a comment below if you'd like to see that. This is just me showing you this can fit in a normal Loungefly bag as well. So let's get this all packed up. We'll put you on super speed here. I forgot to mention that one of the security people that I talked to in one of my trips was looking through my bag and said, I just can't believe how much people can fit in these things. So they are deceptive in that they're small, but man, you can fit all kinds of things in a Loungefly bag. That's where the shades go, and there, ready to go. I was editing and I realized I forgot to add this, and it's because it's in my everyday bag, and this is really important to have in your park bag. It's a portable charger. So this is great because it just pops off here and connects to the bottom of your phone, and so it's all one piece and you don't have to worry about cords or anything like that. So I carry that around with me, but then just in case, I also carry a really long charging cord and a little brick so that if I'm somewhere where I can plug in to the wall, like if I'm eating or something like that, I'll use this instead of using up the battery in this. All right, I hope this information was helpful to you. I hope when you go to Disney or Universal, well, you book with me, but also I hope that you bring all the things that you need and none of the things that you don't. Have safe travels, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.